What if I told you that the world as it presents itself to you, what you're taught to believe, is not presented that way to you to best serve you, but rather best serve someone else? What if I told you that there's an incredibly small contingent of people who control the world? They attempt to control your thoughts, beliefs, and what you're taught. What if I told you that these people who run the world are the ones responsible for the systems which are designed to make them richer and you poorer? Why is it that no matter what happens, a very small contingent of people always seem to win, while the masses always seem to lose? I get it. Sometimes it feels hopeless. Sometimes it feels like we're just cannon fodder, just waiting for the slaughterhouse. A lot of things seem to be out of our control. However, I'm here to tell you that not all hope is lost. What we do still have control of is our thoughts and what we choose to believe and subscribe to. And it's never been more important to hold strong values and be willing to die for them. Because the truth be told, we're getting closer and closer to a reality where independent thought is not allowed. You saw a glimpse of it in the last few years with certain major events. One side of the narrative was completely shut down. You were shunned for having independent thoughts. This is just a glimpse of what we could be heading towards. And it's always very important to remember that chaos and fear create opportunities. Chaos is a ladder. The people who run the world will create and use fear, chaos, and scarcity to push their agenda onto you. With that said, in this video, I'm actually going to be challenging some of your deep-rooted beliefs. Having differing opinions and beliefs is what strikes balance in the universe. Have a think about some of the points I'm going to make and don't just immediately disregard them. Come into this video with an open mind. I call these beliefs Psyops, or psychological operations. Actions designed to influence the perceptions and attitudes of individuals, groups, and foreign governments. Psyop number 1. Depression. Throughout thousands upon thousands of years, we've lived without the idea of depression shrouding our existence. We've lived through times of war, hardship, and absolute hell. Young men being blown to pieces in trenches. The absolute atrocities that we've survived through. Yet, here we are, in the most comfortable period of time in history. And our generations are absolutely riddled with depression. I'm not going to deny the existence of depression. Objectively, it exists. What I don't agree with is the definition that a lot of people give it. And I also don't agree with the cure people give it either. I don't see any power in believing that it's some sort of ailment that you're struck with and that there's nothing you can do about it. And it might be something that you have to live with.
Just take the pills and go to the therapy and everything will be okay.
I don't believe that for a minute. I think depression is the feeling you get when you're not content in your life. What you're doing, how you're spending your time.
But Sam, you're just confusing being depressed and feeling depressed.
No, I'm not. Feeling depressed is when something bad happens to you and you feel sad about it. Being depressed is when you're continuously engaging in activities which does not serve you and you're going down a negative trajectory in life. It's your brain's way of telling you that what you're doing, the trajectory you're on, your habits, your work, is not right for you. When I was depressed, I was convinced by my elders that there was nothing I could do about it and I had to learn how to live with it. Take the medication and go to therapy. Don't worry about it. Just slap a label on it and you'll be fine. Just live with it, Sam. Bullshit. There's no power in thinking that way. What I needed was a massive kick in the ass and someone's help and guidance to help me make better decisions. Don't fall for the lie that is depression. I've had back and forth with people who actually defend depression and what it is. That's when you're too far gone. It becomes more comfortable to just stick a label on it rather than take actual accountability for it. Your beliefs control who you are. Believe only empowering things and disregard things which make you weaker. Psyop 2. Vegetarian/vegan diet. So I don't know if many of you have noticed, but the vegetarian and vegan diets have been pushed hard in mainstream media over the last few years. And the Bluehead Twitter brigade, of course. And to be honest, I don't understand why at all. They claim that it's for a lower carbon footprint and that farming livestock is bad for the environment. But when you do a bit of digging, it doesn't make any sense at all. Producing all this mass-processed fake meat not only is supposedly far worse for the environment, but it's also way unhealthier for you. And the fact is, eating red meat is incredibly healthy for you. It's some of the most micronutrient-dense foods you can find on the market. Man has eaten meat since the dawn of time. Why is it now being pushed in the year of 2023 that eating meat is bad? I think the vegetarian and vegan diets being pushed onto us is an attack on our hormone profiles and our health. If we're not eating nutrient-dense meat, then we're going to be eating ultra-processed garbage fake meat. You know, the fake processed meat alternatives which have a fucking ingredient list the size of a Bible. Yeah, that's gonna be way healthier for you, bro. I was actually vegetarian for most of my life, 18 years in fact, and I recently made a video as to why I've turned to a meat-based diet. You can check the card in the top right of the screen now to check that out. Psyop number 3, the dismantling of religion. Once again, I really want you to come into these points with an open mind. I was so subconsciously programmed and conditioned to not believe in God. Everywhere I looked, people openly mocking religion. Where does that come from? Just 20 years ago, religion was widely accepted and never looked down upon in Western society. It was the fabric of how some countries were even formed in the first place. Why is openly mocking Christianity widely accepted now? You may have noticed how much Muslim countries are currently thriving right now, and that mocking Islam is not deemed acceptable. Is there a correlation there? I think so. I think religion holds an incredibly important place inside of society. Without it, you get dense populations all holding different opinions, different values, and without God watching over us, we behave in horrible ways. Just take a look at London. An incredibly multicultural city, very population dense, and no shared values. London is a completely and utterly failing city. People robbing each other, stabbing each other. This is the result of a godless society. Without shared values, society doesn't function. And I'm not saying God has to be the value that everyone shares, although that has been how societies have functioned over the last thousands upon thousands of years. And I'm not inclined to go beyond that knowledge. I think society needs God more than ever. And I think there's a very good reason why religion has been dismantled in the West. And I also think that there's a very good reason why countries with strong religious values are currently thriving. Psyop number 4, the school system. The school system is not designed to produce good, intelligent members of society with the ability to critically think. The school system is designed to produce good members of the workforce. This means they don't ask too many questions, they're not too ambitious, they don't take too many risks, and they generally just do as they're told. So basically you learn the absolute opposite of all the traits that it takes to actually be successful. School is a long-form indoctrination designed to crush the childlike spirit out of any children. It teaches them to sit still, do as they're told, and enjoy monotonous tasks. This is prepping them to become very good members of the slave force. Sorry, I mean the workforce. It doesn't teach them the skills and the knowledge which is required of them to be able to escape the fate of 9-to-5 work. And the truth be told, society has always thrived off the back of slave labor. In today's day and age, slave labor has a new lick of paint. It's called minimum wage work. Psyop number 5. Social justice groups. Social justice is planted amongst the general population to inspire weakness, division, and conflict. LGBT, BLM, feminism. It's all a ploy to make us weaker, to make us fight one another. If we weren't so distracted by all that bullshit, we would very quickly begin to realize who our real enemies are. By subscribing to or becoming emotionally involved in any social justice movement, you remain a slave to anything which makes you emotional. It inspires hatred and weakness. Chaos creates opportunities. Any opportunity to create division will be amped up tenfold by the mainstream media machine. Don't fall victim to this. I used to get so emotionally involved in things which does not matter. The reality is, once you go outside and you touch grass, you'll very quickly realize that none of this shit matters. And you'll find that the type of people that you want to be hanging out with will agree with your opinions in general anyway. Don't concern yourself with what the Twitter brigade are fighting over. And finally, a few quick fire honorable mentions on things which I'm not quite educated enough to speak on. Number 1, tap water and toothpaste. It's turning the frogs gay. It literally is. Number 2, global warming. It sure is epic how with the pushing of global warming, the prices of airplane tickets have skyrocketed. So you're completely unable to leave your home countries and you remain trapped and in enslavement to your government. Number 3, glasses. I'm convinced personally that if I didn't have so many eye tests as a kid, constantly going from prescription to stronger prescription to stronger prescription, even though I could see perfectly fine in my current lens, I think if I didn't cycle through so many prescriptions, I would have significantly better eyesight. However, this is just a personal anecdote. I'm just sort of chatting shit on this one, to be honest. But you guys can tell me what you think anyway. I'd find it really interesting. Boys, the pathway to enlightenment begins with the ability to critically think and education. I hope this video was helpful and I hope it resonates with some of you. I know that not everyone is ready to start questioning their core beliefs. And a lot of people live their entire lives without questioning any of this shit. In order to win, you must be smart and calculated. I hope we can relate on that notion. If you want to learn how to make like-minded based friends, click here. Take care, guys.